Hey guys, this has been one hell of a project. It's frickin' probably 90 degrees outside and humid, but it's 68 in here, and these are kept at 28 degrees because they actually got alcohol in them, unlike most beers. Anyways, I've been messing around with putting these lights in the bumper. They're fang lights for razors, and I started last time I was home. I'm gone for 6 days at a crack, so I didn't get it done. I just kind of threw a teaser out there, and now I got everything done and put back together. So I'm going to try to go through everything. It's going to be a long video. Skip through it. I'll try to do it in sections here, in case you're interested. But I'll show you what I did. Yeah, it was. These look awesome. I'm happy with them. They're cut into the bumper, but wow, what a project. It was a task. Let's just put that. The light bar I put across the back was simple. If I'd have done something in the front, you know, like putting some of those little round LEDs up here, I think life would have been a lot easier for me. But I always run off a cliff and see if I can fly. So I'm going to kind of walk you through everything, what I did. There's a million ways to skin a horse. I am not a professional. I've just kind of over the years picked stuff up here and there, and that's just how I go. But it seems like it worked out okay in this. It was a lot of work, let me tell you, and a lot of these. Good. So you'll hear the dogs chewing on the bones in the background because that keeps them out of our hair while I'm going to show you this. So first over to the bed. Okay, so first we're going to go over just some tools. I bought this kit. I think I got that on Amazon. It's just for those plastic rivets. And there's different ones, plus for just peeling plastic back and that instead of scratching, painting that. So that was helpful. This is really good at getting the rivets out. I had a red one like that, and it's, for some reason, that doesn't work as good as this. So went with that. Tons of zip ties, tons of paddle male and female connectors, a lot of them. I bought a bunch of different colored wire so I could just keep everything the same. I use these stakes. It's for concrete. I molded this. I cut one down. You can see it's thinner, and then it's kind of rounded, you know, and tapered. I sanded it down, and then these two holes are where the studs, the back of the lights, have 3 studs. So I screwed some of my HDP plastic flat onto this. And like I said, I heated up with the heat gun and molded it around this so that it would mirror the back of the light. This was my first one. And then you get it, just heat it both sides with the heat gun, and then it would just fall right over this. And then I'd run over to the air conditioner and hold it in front of the air conditioner when I had the angle I wanted. That's how it sits up against the bumper. But I just did this, like, once I got it really warm, I could go right up to the bumper, hold it up tight, and just mold it the way I wanted, and then I'd kind of hold it, and then I went over to the air conditioner and cooled it off, and then it hardens. So this is the cutout for where the lights come through, or the wires come through on the back. And this is one of the studs. This was my first, like, the prototype or whatever. So then I made one longer, so it did a whole run. And I got 2 of the studs there, and then I did a small one like this down on the bottom. So the lights can't go through the bumper. They fit in, but they can't go through. And then as I put a washer and nuts on this, on the studs, it pushing the light back into the bumper and this out from the back towards the front, and it wedges it in there. And that's all I needed. I was going to use maybe some silicone or something to hold it in place better, but it's so freaking tight I just left it alone. Here's another item I used, just started on this. This is for splicing wires, crimping them together, and that the silver in the middle is actually solder. So and then the blue signifies the gauge. This is 14 to 16. But it also, that blue stuff, that'll melt. And it's like, even though the clear melts around the wires, the blue stuff melts, and it's a waterproof gel like silicone in there. So it really did a good seal. So I was happy with those, and I bought a bunch of them. So I got a bunch of them. And then I can't stress this enough. This was my plan when I started out. I bought my relays, and the relays are kind of confusing. Not really, unless you know what. But each one's a little different, and the wire colors are different. So just make sure the one you have, you write down what each wire is doing and where it's going. So I laid everything out here on my bench, hooked up. I used a charger for the 12 volt, ran it through a fuse, and then I wired everything up here, my lights up here on my workbench with short wires and that, and it's a mess. But then I hooked up the switches, and I just wanted to make sure everything was working the way I did. But then I wrote everything down. So I started with the rear light bar, because the rear light bar came pre-wired from the factory with like a boat trailer, or you know, a utility trailer set of lights. So I used that as what I was going to use for a color code. So the left was, you know, yellow was my left turn, green was the right, brown was the running lights, white was the ground, and then they have a little thinner white light, that was the reverse backup. So you tie that into the reverse lights on the machine, and then that backup light comes on. Well, I wanted to use that also as a standalone utility light, cargo light. So then I ran that wire up to a separate switch that I'll show you later, and so I could turn on my cargo lights. You know, when I'm parked, I don't have to put in reverse to have the lights on. I could just flip a switch and have cargo lights, and I'm very happy I did that. It turned out good. But then at the time, this was the switch I was using, so I showed which one goes where, and then I went and got a different switch. But here's the relay, and what all the wires meant on the relay. And then I wired the, you know, how the relay, which each light or what colored wire is going where, and then the flasher. I had everything covered, so it worked up here. I wrote it down, so then when I pulled everything apart and I went to work on the machine, everything was going to be the way it's supposed to be, and it worked. So, you know, little extra setup just to make sure. Like I said, I'm not a professional, so I wanted to make sure that, you know, before I started plugging into the machine, that everything worked out okay. And it did. Now I'm going to insert a quick little video here about the relay and how it works, so you'll just have to bear with me. Okay, here we're going to go over what this relay is doing. It's a waterproof relay, and all the wires are coming out of one side. So it's a little confusing if you're not familiar with relays. This tells us what's going on. We got power coming through 30, which is the red wire, and then that's going out 87A, which is the yellow wire, and then you have 86 and 85. Those are your, that's what that's your coil. So when you flip a switch, you energize, you run power through that circuit, the red and the black, energizing the coil, and then that switches from it normally going through how it wants to, it switches over to 87. which is the blue wire. So I kind of laid these wires in a straight line to give you an idea. So what I got going on, I got power coming through into this relay, and it's continuing out the yellow. That's how it naturally wants to run. Look at it as if you did nothing else, you'd never use that relay, this would be your running light. It's just turning yellow. You know, it's using the yellow wire on this relay coming out. Now my switch in the dash is hooked up. I might have these backwards, but you got the black and the white, and that's going to energize the coil. So when I turn the switch on in my dash for a blinker, this gets powered. So this is a closed circuit, and the only way that it's open is the switch is off. So when you turn the switch on, it closes the circuit. The power comes through the switch up to here. But now what's going to happen, the blue is going, this is our blinker and my yellow light. So when I turn the switch on, it energizes, closes the circuit with the black and the white, and now the red, where the power's coming in, goes over to the blue light, and now it's going off to the flasher, and it's running with from the flasher. Then it's going out and turning the light amber. So now this is my white running light, and that's how the white light turns off. And then this goes through the flasher, and out the flasher it goes to the wire that powers the yellow lights on my front blinkers. So as long as my switch is on in the dash, now, and you can see here, it will flip that switch over to that side. So that's what's happening. And then the second that I turn the switch off, this goes back to its normal place, and it's energizing the white wire. Now, if you don't have yellow and white, then you don't have to do this. You can just, you know, you would just not use the one because you're not running a different color. You'd just run it through the flasher to the white wire, and the white would blink. But that's how my setup is. So I know they can be very confusing, and what was confusing about this is if you look at a YouTube video, some of the wire colors are different and they mean different things. So the most important thing is, if you get one, look at what it's telling you it's doing, and that will really help you. And then the other thing, you write stuff down. You write a reference. That I can't stress that enough, because then when you're working on the machine and you've got all these wires, I know which one is doing what. And I did the same thing with the flasher, because some of them have a plus or a B1 or a minus or a 1E or a L, and it's just so much easier if you write everything down. So then when you're plugging in wires and everything as you go, they're going where they're supposed to. You got a good quick reference. And then plus, that's how my machine is wired, is the way this is. So I will either laminate this at least, or put it in my maintenance drawer, and so anywhere down the road, if I've always got this as a reference to go back to. But can't tell you how much this helped. And I did another one for the backup light, or the light bar in the back. I went off that, but I cannot stress enough, write stuff down, use it as a reference. And I laid it out on my bench and just wanted to make sure everything worked. So that's how I do it. There's a million ways to skin a horse, and yeah, that's what I did. But oh, look at there. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, Bo's gonna help today, right, buddy? Give me 5. Oh, okay. That's how you turn the switch on too. So when I tell you to, oh, he's, yeah. All right, you got it. Okay. So no, you got to stay there, because I'm gonna have you turn everything on. Okay? Yeah, that's how you do it. Remember I showed you? Okay. Good boy. So he's in there. He's all ready to go. Okay, and now we're gonna attempt to fire the lights up, show you what we got. Alright, Bo, can you turn the lights on? Okay, that was pretty good. He did good. There's a little glare here. Those are just the running lights, believe it or not. But as you can see, the lights come on here in the bumper. And I always get a lot of glare. But that's what we got going. Alright, so here's the back. And then we're going to go ahead and have Bo hit the load light so we can see what that looks like. Alright, Bo, go ahead. And now you can see that he's got the backup lights on and that load light, and they're very very good in the outside when it's dark. It really lights everything up. But now we can go ahead and try to get the blinkers going. We can have Bo hit that. So we got the sequential right turn lane, right turn blinker going, and then we'll go ahead and have him hit the left one now. I don't know if he knows left or right. Okay, and then there's the left, and obviously Bo is tired of doing this, so then we'll just show you here. Good job, buddy. There's Bear with all his bones. Yeah. You gotta fill some up. Here's what we got in the front then. So it cancels the white, and then it comes pre-wired with amber blinkers in there, and singles that out while leaving the other one on. That's the beauty of a relay. And then what we got in here, I've got the switch blinking, so I kind of have an idea if I left it on or not. And it just the middle switch is off. When the right one goes, that flashes, and this appears white, but it's all blue. But I just want them lit up when they're on. Then I know if I've left something on. They all shut off with the key, so that's no big deal. But yeah, so now I will show you how I have that switch wired up quick. Well, show you what I got here for a switch. I got the wires running up and just kind of loom through, this is where it comes through the dash. Okay, so first we got my signal switch here. This is a 10 pin. 3 of them I'm not using. And then what you got is right in the middle, you got your power coming in with the switch. Then below it, because on the top side, when the switch is up, that's going to be my right turn. So I have my the green wire is my right turn signal, and the yellow is the left turn signal. Then the 2 up on top, or the one on the bottom and the one on the top, are my grounds. The grounds are for the blue wires. I've got one on this side and then one in the back married up with the ground. The blue are coming from each individual flasher, so that when normally you would just run this with constant power, so when you switched it on, the light would be on. But what I want is I want it to blink, so I spliced in at the flasher where the flasher's going to the lights, or to the blinkers. It's gonna blink here also, so instead of just being on, it's gonna blink. And then this other one is my cargo light. That's pretty basic. We got the constant power coming in with the switch. The white wire is the the light that's tied into the backup lights, and then the black here obviously is the ground. So then when I am, I got a switch so I can just turn that on. Okay, so first we're going to start with the power. You can do it anywhere. Do anything you want. It's free country. What I found was down here, there's a set of wires. It was a orange and red wire and a green, I believe, that were plugged off. And looking at the, this is just under the driver's seat. You take that pan out. Make sure the steering wheel's tipped all the way up, and then you can get that out. But so that's where I tapped into my power, right down there, and that is a keyed switch, and it runs. It's got a fuse inside underneath the hood. That was for heated seats. Well, I'm never going to have heated seats. They don't come with that in the U.S. But that's a perfect separate circuit to that's fused. That's got a good, it's a high amp circuit. So that's what I use to run all my lights. They're all LEDs, so we don't have a lot of amps going through it. But that's a standalone. It's not sharing it with anything. I just went through the schematic in the back of the service manual. But so that's where I got my power. So I ran that up to under my hood, and that just goes underneath here, and then it came out. I ran it right through there, and just ran it up the right side, and I ran it up the roll bar to tie in with the rest of the lights going to the front. As for the light bar, this came with these clips. If you can see right here, I don't know, maybe I don't need the light on this. Yeah. So they got these little spring clips. There's 4 of them. They're stainless steel. They got a hole in them. It's nice and flat around here across the back. So what I did was I drilled a hole and riveted those on, and these snapped into place. This whole metal frame on this also has a sticky back, and I didn't even peel it off because these clips held that thing so tight. I think it'll go fine. Now if I put a window on, I can just take this off and put it through the window. It'd be on the back side of the window. But my dog jumps through back here, so right now I'm not going with the rear window. But so it has like I said before, a trailer wiring kit that's already pre-wired on this with a 4-pin male-female plug. Then it has a single white wire that you tie into your backup lights. So that's what I ran here, down and behind, and now we need the light. I just ran it behind here everywhere, and then it comes in here, and then I took the box off, unplugged this, and so right in here I just tied in with the yellow light, and that's a thin little white wire. Well, then I put another white wire that I brought back up through this that keeps going with the rest of the wires to the I ran that all the way down through the dash and to my switch, my standalone switch. So then down here, when the vehicle goes in reverse, that turns on this light in the middle plus the backup lights. But then, since I'm also running to the switch, that standalone switch, when I turn the switch on, I don't have to be in reverse to have lights back here to light up the cargo bed. So that was a good thing, because it really lights this up nice. I had it out last night just kind of playing around just to see, and it is super bright. Same with them running lights in the front. It's between them and the running lights, it's crazy how how bright it gets. But yeah, so here you can see the lights. This is how it comes. A little side note, I bought this. This is a rotating dome light. It's got the spot and that white LED. The orange button turns it on. The other side's magnetic, but then that pops out of there like a flashlight. I was going to put a dome light in here, but I thought, you know, you wrap that around the... I think that'll be good. You know, I think you gotta watch your batteries. Or no, that comes with a charger. I can charge it with this. That's why. It's got a chargeable battery, so it plugs into our USB charger on here, and I can charge that up. And then, you know, this time of year you rarely need light, you know, dome lights, but that's what I did. So anyways, back to this. So here's the, this is where the power came in, and then I ran up here. I didn't want to run underneath. I could, but right now I just brought everything down here, zip tied it. I got these channels up here in the corner. Yeah, there we go. Got the channel, so that holds it in there, you know, and yeah, there's better ways to do it. I'm not too happy with this, but I don't sit over here, so it doesn't bother me. But anyways, the Super ATV window, flip up window, it's got these gaps, so I just got it through. And then there's a little lip down here on the machine itself, and I just cut out a little wedge so that the loom can go through and not, you know, not on a sharp angle. And then on the left side, here's your hood. This comes off very easy. There's 2 screws, and then there's a couple plastic rivets, and then this piece comes off. You got 2 of those damn push things here, like the hood has. You got to be careful with them, but you can see them looking this way. But then underneath here, there's a big pan that's empty. So that's where I screwed down my waterproof relays and my 2 flashers, and that's where all the wires are. And then I ran all the wires, and here's where the original blinkers come up, that if the headlights had them instead of reflectors, they came up. Well, I just used this hole here. Oop, I got a wire sticking out there, I didn't see that. Ran all my wires down through there, and then always nice to find something you didn't do right. So that's where the wires come down, and then if you follow that, I go right up that black cable there. That's your shift linkage. There's a big hole going up into the dash, so that's where I ran it. And then I spliced off these. Yeah, I get down to their height, and then they think it's petting time. So I ran these down. One goes to the other side, one comes to the back of the lights here. And I'll kind of show you. So here's my bracket that I made. And yeah, it's held in tight. Those are the lights coming out for it. And then I got male-female plugs all taped up there, and that was a pain in the ass. I should have taped that before I did everything, but that's going to be the that's where the you know, the lights come in, and the wires come in. The yellow is the amber, the white power, and then, or for the white's the power for the clear LEDs, the white LEDs, and then the black's the ground. So, so again, here's the switches, and I will I'll show you. Here's what we got on tap next, boys, because we actually can wash it. We got the mud tracks Haven't used any of it. I've had it for probably a month now. I couldn't wait to get it that I started this damn project, or what it. I haven't been working on this a month, but we've had rain and all that. But this will be my next video, so can't wait to use this. What do you think, Bo? Yeah. So yeah, just to close it up, I mean, these are tough to cut in because they're not flat. They kind of, like letters would have shadowing to one side. These kind of, that's what they do. So I use that to my benefit, and then I use this weather stripping where I cut out the plastic to kind of fill in the gap. And I got more coming, so if I want, I can put it down below, but that wasn't as important. But yeah, I just had to measure thickness out and use cardboard for a pattern and all that, and cut out a little and cut out a little more, and just kind of single pieced it. A lot of it was custom, obviously, especially them backing plates, because I wasn't sure how I was going to mount it. So I'm happy with the results. It's ready to rock. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Alrighty, come on, Bo.